Hey, what's cracking, everybody? Today I'm releasing a video because I have released an update for LinuxHub Prime. I've actually released it a couple days ago, but there were a few fixes that I had to patch up the system. So it was released on the 23rd, and on the 24th I had to fix an issue with the awesome window manager. And then on the 25th, on the 25th today, I checked the ISO and I saw that Arch Linux is removing some packages from pacman itself, so it's breaking the installer. So that's already been fixed also, and you can see right here it's updated October 25th, 2025. And if we go over to the change logs, scroll all the way to the bottom, so you can see October 23rd is when I did the major update, and this was going to be released on November 1st, but since there were a few errors that showed up, I went ahead and fixed it now. That way we have a working ISO, to work with. So I updated the entire layout of OpenBox. We'll see that in a second. A lot of installer images and broken scripts. Of course, they're Arch Linux keeps breaking stuff, so we have to keep fixing it on my end. Since I'm the maintainer, I have to keep fixing it on my end. All right, and then on the 24th, I fixed issues with Awesome Window Manager, so that's fixed now. For some reason, it was installed in OpenBox alongside with Awesome. I think this has to do why certain packages are being removed. So, for example, Awesome, I was using LX Appearance to, for the theme manager, and for some reason, LX Appearance was actually installing OpenBox as a dependency. I think this is why a lot of these programs are being removed. And for some reason, I'll show you right now, but it breaks the installer for some reason when using Arch install whenever a package is missing from pacman. So it just entirely breaks the installation. All right, so I just wrote right here that Arch Linux is removing programs and dependencies at will, breaking the installer. Like, these are some examples of the recent packages that have been removed, like obconf, LX Appearance, Nitrogen, and there's a few others. But obviously, I have to remove them from the installer itself. And being that I'm dealing with 10, 11, 12 different desktop environments, I have to go through each one and delete them on each one. So it's all fixed now. So the latest ISO is working, and we'll get to see that right now. And the installer and the builder. I also patched the builder to make sure the builder doesn't break also. So that's also fixed. All right, so right here it says see issue. If I click on it, it opens up an image, and you can see right here, it says error, target not found, and that's for, in this case, nitrogen. So it tells you right here, would you like to retry this download? Yes or no. So if you try yes, you can try yes all you want. It's just not going to work because it's not in pacman anymore. It's been completely removed from pacman. Whether it gets re-added or not is up to debate, but it's not in pacman right now, so it's not going to work. And if you select no, it just completely breaks the entire installer. This is an issue with Arch install. It's not a Prime issue. It's an Arch install issue. It's little things like this that break systems just for one little program like this. And there should be a better fix for this, but at the moment it's what we deal with. This is why Calamares breaks on a lot of systems also. It's little errors like this, and you have to go back. That's why I just decided to stop working with Calamares altogether, because it's finding these little issues and then trying to work with them. It's a pain. And with Calamares, it's a lot more difficult also, because you got to get in there and you got to look at all the files that it have, and you have to search files here in this folder and search files in another separate folder in a whole separate directory. You have to. I have everything down in one directory, and I know my file root system, so it's easier for me to just work on my Prime installer, and that's what I do. All right, so I have the ISO right now up in a virtual machine. Let's go over there. Let's take a look at it, and we can see the new changes. All this wasn't supposed to come until now, November, and I was actually going to update it to 3.0.9 and proceed forward. But since the system is broken right now, I don't want to have a broken system up as a download, so I just went ahead and uploaded what I have now. Between now and November, I will be adding more things to it also, though. So Anyways, let's head on over to the virtual machine and let's take a look at the new installer and see how everything's look. All right, so let's do that now. Okay, and here we are on the virtual machine, and you can see right here, basically, just updated the image on how it looks, and you can see right here, you have the date, October 25th, 25. So that's when this build was released. So let's go ahead and get this started. All right, as you can see right here, the system has booted up now, and you can see basically we have a new layout going along with LinuxHub Prime. But right here, we have a window that popped up, and this is to please make sure you are connected to the internet before starting the installation. So I put this in place because if you're installing, let's say like on a laptop or bare metal, something like that, I want you to make sure that you have the internet connection on, because if not, it's just going to error out completely, because this is a online installer. This is not an offline installer. This is an online installer. So it needs the internet connection in order for it to work. So basically that's all this message tells you right here. So all you have to do, I mean, if you're hardwired like through Ethernet connection, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you need to select a Wi-Fi network or whatever, you can do that. All right, but we are on the virtual machine and we are connected to the internet. So all I have to do is hit enter on my keyboard, and then the regular options will, express themselves. So you can see right here, basically I just changed the layout a bit, changed the panel, just beautified it a little bit. You know what I mean? Nothing major. All it is makeup and, a wig and some glasses, I just did a little Clark Kent on it, and that's basically all this is. It's the same system, same everything. It just, just has some makeup on it. All right, so in this case, let's see, what do we want to install? Let's install, should we do Budgie, Mate, Qtel? Let's do Hyperlink just for the hell of it. All right. Since I looked at Omarchi yesterday, or the day before yesterday, let's look at Hyperlink. All right, and my username is going to be test, and then give it a strong and complicated password. Do the same for your root account. If you want to auto log in, you can do that, but if you don't want to, you can always select no. If you want the AUR helper, right now it's automatically selected to all. But if you want to select just one, let's say, for example, Paru, Gay, Pamac, or if you don't want none at all, you can select none. So basically, I'm just leaving it on the defaults. Select Arch install method. The default is minimum, but you can use full. Full is just so you can edit all the items. I mean, you could do it on minimum too, but full it's just unedited. All right, and then if you have an NVIDIA card, you can install the drivers for it. But since I'm on a virtual machine, I don't need to. If you want to install LibreOffice, you can. In this example, I'll just go ahead and select yes. If you want to install some simple gaming helpers like Lutris and Steam, you can select yes. And then just click on OK. All right, the next screen that you get right here is for your time zone and your keyboard layout. So my time zone is America, Los Angeles. I've added a script in here to where it automatically selects your time zone. Now, for some reason, if it doesn't work, what you need to do is click on here where it says open time zones to search, copy, and paste below in text box if not correct. So you can click this right here, and it's going to open up all time zones right here. And you can do like a Control F on your keyboard. Let me do that now. Control F. And then just from right here, you have the search. So let's say, for example, I'm gonna look for Mexico. Just search for Mexico, click on find, and there you can see America, Mexico City. And if there's more Mexico, just keep using it until you find the correct one. But since I don't need to use this, I can just go ahead and close this. Again, I can put this back up. Okay, so it should automatically select your time zone. And the same thing for your keyboard layout for whatever country you're in. If it's wrong, you can just type it in yourself and fix it. If you don't know it, don't worry about it. You can just still click on OK, and you can change it over here afterwards if you need to. It's not that big of an issue. That's why I put it as a secondary. So right here on this screen right here, basically all you have to do is set up your disk configuration, then proceed to install. So right here, you just hit enter. Go to partitioning, use a best effort, select your drive, and then use whatever file system you want. I tend to use ext4 because that's what I'm used to. It's just a force of habit, so that's what I use. If you want an LVM or disk encryption, go ahead and do that. If not, just click on back. And then from here, all you have to do is click on install, and it will install completely. But if you want to change anything else right here, so it says right here, the Prime installer is already set up. Only edit items below if you need to. They are not required. So basically, if you need to change the language, obviously change the language. If you need to change the locales, you don't really have to, but if you need to, go ahead. Same thing with the mirrors, swap, with everything else right here. You don't have to unless you need to. So one important thing would be the Arch install language. Of course, if you don't speak English, then you want to change it to whatever language it is you speak, which kind of makes listening to this video kind of pointless because I am speaking in English. And if you don't speak English, that's going to be weird. Anyways, basically it's set up to where all you have to do is set up your hard drive and then just go straight to install. The Prime installer does the rest. Then just click on install, select yes, and it does its thing. From here on out, all you have to do is sit back until you get your ready to reboot screen. The installer is going to do everything else. Now, if for some reason, within the last hour or so, if for some reason Arch Linux decided to remove something else from pacman that I have on my script, it's going to break the installer. And then I'll just have to patch it and re-upload it. Okay, because that's what happened between yesterday and today. I released a new version yesterday, and today it was already broken because, you know, Arch Linux likes to do things, and they have every right to. But it sucks, you know, that, you know, when it comes to installers, this is one of the main reasons why Calamares is always breaking. It's for simple little things like this. It's because the same devs at Calamares are not the same devs that are at Arch Linux. Same thing goes with the same devs that are at Arch Linux. They're not the same devs from Arch install. Maybe one or two are, but it's different teams playing on, you know, different players playing on the same team, basically is what it is. And one person does something and another person doesn't know about it yet, and this and that. It's not until everybody gets together and everybody fixes it together that it all gets fixed. So whenever there's an error, like one simple package is missing, now all of a sudden from pacman, it just breaks the entire system. And that's why I decided not to mess with Calamares no more, because it's bad enough I have to fix it on Arch install. Having to fix it on two different installers would be, you know, it'll be stupid. So that's why I just stick to my installer, and that's it. Easier for me to fix, easier for me to worry about, and easier to move along. And like I said, I fixed the builder also. So if you want to build a custom system using whatever Arch-based system you want, that has already been patched and fixed. So that works also. All right, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video, let this finish installing, and then we'll reboot into the system. I think I chose Hyperland. Yeah, I did. And we'll take a look at Hyperland and see some new things that I have right here on LinuxHub. All right, so I'll go ahead and I'll pause the video again. Now we're coming up here to the close to the end of the installation itself, but I wanted to point something out right here. Right here at the end of the installation, after Arch install finishes, I have my own script that installs other software. Now, if for some reason something doesn't work here, like if one package is missing or whatever, it doesn't break the installation. It just keeps on going. It just skips that package and keeps on going. And that's something that needs to be done with Arch install. The devs at Arch install need to make it to where if something, see, like right here, there's an error right there. It says failed to prepare a transaction, cannot. It went too fast, but I can read it. But anyways, we just had an error right there, but it still keeps going. It still keeps going. It still continues with the installation. And this is something that Arch install needs to kind of adapt and get into their system. Instead of, you know, breaking the whole system, they need to make it to where it allows it to just, you know, okay, so that package is not there, it'll skip it and just keep going. And that's what my installer does. All right, so we're at the end here, and we can now reboot into our new station. So installation completed. You may now reboot into your system. So the button right here says reboot. That's what we'll do. We'll reboot. Okay, and we are now rebooted into the Hyperland session. You can see right here, we get our welcome screen. So basically our welcome screen is the same on all the desktop environments. Everything is identical on here. So what you have on the welcome screen is going to be the install software, and this is going to, open up your pacman. That way you can install software. Now, if you decide not to install pacman or decide to choose none, then obviously this button is not going to work. This is only if you opt in on the AUR helpers. So basically pacman is pacman, it's a installation package manager. But I also have right here is to install Flatpaks. So this is going to be on all the systems also. So whether you choose not to use AUR or whatever, Flatpaks uses FlatHub, so it's an entire different ecosystem. So you don't have to worry about all these AUR packages and things like this, because everything's coming from FlatHub. So you can use Discover. All right, let's close that down. On all the systems also, you are going to have time shift. So if you want to back up your system, but I'm just going to click on cancel. And I had it before to where the installer would download these theme packs automatically, but I just put them right here as a separate button just in case. If you want to use the custom theme pack, you can download them. So you would just click right here. It would go to my website and download the themes themselves. But if you don't want them, don't download them. As simple as that. Just to make the system lighter, as a whole. And you could do the same thing for the icons pack. If you want the custom icons pack, I think it's like 500 or 600 megabytes. So just be aware of that. And then of course I got the other links like visit the LinuxHub website, visit LinuxHub Forum, my Patreon, and then you got the changelog right here that shows you all the changes. And I've also added the build a ISO with primebuilder. Now the way this works, of course, is now different. It's not the way it used to be before. So now it just opens up the website, and from here, let me go ahead and close this. Oh, another thing about the welcome screen, I'm going to show you right now while I got it up. If you decide to remove it and you want to open it again, you can. It tells you right here, you can just type welcome into a terminal. So for right now, it's not going to load again when you open up the when you reboot your system. So let me go ahead and close this, and then let's say open up a terminal, and right here just type welcome. And there you go. It'll open up the welcome screen. Just in case if you didn't know, now you know. So let me just go ahead and exit the terminal. All right, and basically the primebuilder, like I was saying before, it works different now. Now it's its own separate entity, all on its own. It has nothing to do with the ISO, and it's separated now. So the builder and Prime are just separated entities now. So if you want to use the builder, you can use it on pretty much any Arch-based system. And you just follow these commands. So, it just says the primebuilder will build you a custom ISO using Arch ISO and Arch install. And you got the system requirements right here. And it's going to be, have to be Arch-based system. So, Arch. Your memory, you need at least 4 gigabytes. I mean, you could get away with 2, but, it is going to be laggy. And your hard drive disk, it has to be 60 gigabytes or above. And this is to use the builder, because while you're building the custom ISO, it gets up to like 20 gigabytes, and then before it actually compresses everything into the ISO itself. So it's a weird phenomenon that happens when you're doing that. But that's why I said it. You can probably get away with 50, maybe 40, but to be on the safe side, 60 works. Then, of course, you got the command right here. It says to build a custom system with the primebuilder. First, we need to have these packages installed. So all you have to do is copy this code into a terminal, and voila, it'll install all the programs that you need installed. You can then remove them afterwards if you want to. You can just copy the same code and just change S and replace the capital S with capital R in S, and it'll remove all the programs you just installed. I'll probably add that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'll probably add that right here also, just to make it easier on everyone. See, a suggestion that I just thought about right now is going to be implemented. All right, and then to start the builder, then open the terminal and enter the following command. So you would copy this command and you would just enter this into a terminal and it will start the builder for you. All right, and obviously I got Firefox open, so let's take a look at Firefox, see what version it is, and it is version 144.0, Mozilla Firefox for Arch Linux. All right, so as you can see right here, we are using a Hyperland. This is my version of Hyperland. You know, obviously it's going to look different to other people's version. It's definitely not a Marchy or anything like that. But what I've done with Hyperland is I, simplified it as much as I could. So you can see right here on top, it says Rofi and Nemo. Rofi is your application launcher and Nemo is a file manager. So what this signifies is that the left key is going to open up Rofi and the right key on your mouse is going to open up Nemo. So that's all that signifies right there. So I don't need to look at this. That by accident. So if I use my my right key on the mouse, now you can see the right key, the right click. So it's the left click and the right click whenever you see two items grouped like this. And of course, this is Nemo, your file manager. Same thing over here. You got web. So the right click is going to open up the web, and then the left click is going to open up the terminal. All right, and then I have a config. When I do the version 3.0.9, this is going to be updated right here. So from right here, if you want to open up your config files, you got your Hyperland config. You can open up, edit whatever you need to edit right there. So I'll close that. If you want to set up a custom wallpaper, this is where you'll do it right here. So quit that. You got your waybar settings, your waybar CSS, and I do have these dot files for Hyperland. I have the Jacolit dot files and the ML4W dot files. I do not know if they still work. This is something I need to play with. So in a future update, if they don't work, I'll probably add some Marchy dot files or some other ones. Then you got the open config folder and edit this window. So this window itself, you can edit it by clicking this right here. You click right there, and you can just add a different field if you want to. So if you want to customize it for yourself. And then of course you have your power. So from right here, if you want to reboot the system, you can, or shut down, or cancel. All right, so open up our applications menu. Obviously, you can see right here, everything is loaded in alphabetical order. So it's just a scroll menu. You scroll down either with the scroll wheel or with the arrow keys. Either one will work. It'll basically take you through everything you want to take a look at. And you can see during installation, we did select to install Office. So we installed the LibreOffice suite and then Gaming Helper. So you can see right here, we got Lutris, and we should have a Proton. Yeah, it's right there. And keep going down, and then you got Steam right here. All right, so this is your package manager. So this is your applications launcher right here. It's called Rofi. I should make it more refined. I'll probably do that also in the 3.0.9. I'll probably name it, menu and file manager, things like that, just to make it easier. Web and term are easy to figure out, web browser and terminal. But Rofi and Nemo, if you don't know what the programs are, then you're not going to know what you're dealing with. All right, you guys, so that's pretty much the new update with LinuxHub Prime. Like I said, it's just all makeup and, a pair of glasses and a wig. It's just the whole Clark Kent effect. It's just makeup on top of the same system. But obviously, I did refine a lot of things. Most of it is going to be with the installer itself. It's just keeping up to date with installers, but, it's what you got to, this is what I have to stay active on and stay on top of. And I'm doing a pretty good job on it. And I know you guys want Calamaris, but I can't afford to be dealing with two different systems like this. I don't have the time to rack my brain like that on something simple. This is just so easy to install that why would I even worry about racking my brain on something else when this is simple enough? It's just my personal view on it. It's my system. It's the way I like it. And you guys have everything else to play with on the internet. whatever you guys want to. You don't have to install LinuxHub Prime by any means of whatever. You do not have to install LinuxHub Prime. This is just if you like it, install it. If you don't, keep it moving. You know what I mean? This is not required in any way, shape, or form. All right, you guys, but that's gonna pretty much do it for this video. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you liked the video you just saw, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, by all means, give it a thumbs down. And that's gonna do it for this video. And I'm out.